Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to our Hurricanes Camp Report. Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr. Coming up on the show, we'll talk with linebackers coach Derek Nicholson. I think the linebackers are going to be a position of much improvement.
That they are. They've added size with the players that have come in as far as the recruits go. A lot bigger group than has been here in the past. They've got a nice mix of experience, Joe, and their coach is a pretty intense guy.
Maui Goa, KJ Cloyd come in, the transfer portal, a bunch of young guys coming in, and then, of course, you've got Corey Flagg who's working his backside off.
You know what? Corey Flagg is doing a great job every day. You know, he's not the biggest guy, he's not the fastest guy, but they can't move him out of his job. He just keeps making plays. He studies film. He understands the defense. And then you mentioned Cloyd and Maui Goa, two bigger bodies that can run extremely well.
And I don't want to forget the veteran Keontre Smith, because he brings a personality to this team.
He does, and he brings a lot of experience as well. The thing about K4 is that he understands all the positions on the defense, and that helps communication.
Okay, when we come back, we'll be joined by linebackers coach Derek Nicholson.
Don Bailey with linebacker coach Derek Nicholson. And coach, welcome to South Florida and the University of Miami.
It's great to be here. I know that's for sure.
All right, coach, let's clear the air real quick.
Okay.
If any Hurricane fans recognize that name, I want to remind them you were a star linebacker for the team in Tallahassee. Had a couple hundred tackles, but we're glad you're with the University of Miami.
So glad to be here. Me and my family are thrilled. So I couldn't be at a better place right now.
All right, coach. So when we go to your room, let's start right in the middle.
Okay.
You know, Francisco Marioga, he came in early, had a good spring, but take us through the room. Let's start in the middle.
Francisco Kiko, transfer from Washington State, arrived here this spring, has done an unbelievable job from not only a play standpoint and being consistent, being that guy, that man in the middle that's made a lot of plays for us in spring practices as well as fall camp thus far. But he's been a leader for us, and he's not a big vocal guy. He doesn't talk too much, but he's one of those guys that leads by example, in which the way he works, the way he prepares, his approach in practice and in the meetings, and he's a guy that does a lot of things right. And so we're excited about Kiko and his and what he can do this upcoming season. And then you have right there in that middle a veteran guy that's played a lot of football for us in Corey Flagg. Mm-hmm. And since I arrived here in February, he is one of the players that probably has made the biggest improvement in his game. In spring he wasn't able to play or finish all of spring. He had some nagging stuff going on with his body, but he's came out this fall camp and he's done an unbelievable job. He's a player that's obviously a veteran, he's played a lot of football, but just the little things from a technique standpoint, knowing what his SWOT analysis is, his strengths, his weaknesses, things of that nature. He has done an unbelievable job this fall camp, and we're excited about his improvement, his transformation within this new scheme, in this defense, and so looking forward to watching him perform and him play, and the steps he has made as well. And then we're going to cross train. We're going to play quite a few guys at different spots. They're going to have to do that, and within this scheme, it's not that hard to go from Mike to Will to Mike to Will to Sam to Will. So you'll see Keontre Smith, K4 in there as well, and also KJ Cloyd, in that middle, that Mike linebacker spot. You'll see him in there as well, depending on the situation, who we're playing, to utilize their strengths. So that's the inside linebacker position at that Mike spot with those veteran guys.
Coach, let's talk about KJ Cloyd. You were at the University of Louisville last year. He was a player there. Yes. I had a chance to meet him, of course, during camp, and he brings a little bit of a physical aspect, doesn't he?
Yes. He's every bit of 6'2". He's 200 and around 28 to 30 pounds right now. He's fluctuating from here and there, but he can run. And right. He's physically strong. He's violent. Plays the game the right way, and he in himself has made a transformation from 2020 COVID when he got to the University of Louisville until now. And so excited to see his transformation he has made, not only physically but as a football player, and the steps he has made from being a young player to now a veteran that's played a lot. and he is ready to, take on that role and, being a guy that's a full-time guy. And so excited about him and what he brings, and, his veteran presence towards the young guys, and just a different outlook from some of the other guys, obviously being a new guy as well as Francisco coming into this program. And the guys have done a great job of, bringing, open them up with open arms, help bringing him along within the scheme, him getting here a little later than everybody else. And he's done a good job this camp. He really has.
I've spent the last couple of days around your group, and the freshman linebackers, that entire core is a size bigger than what we've had around here the last couple of years. Big guys that all look like they can run.
Yeah, and that's what you want. When you recruit, you want to recruit, speed. Most importantly, awareness is at a premium, but also you got to recruit length and size. And so, with these guys that came in here, Marcellus Pulliam, Popo, Malik Bryant, Bobby Washington, those guys, they bring that. All of them are over 6 foot. I think maybe the shortest one is 6'1" and some change. They're all long. They can run, and, they're all 220 plus. And so they bring a pop. So, obviously it's their first taste of college football. So the speed is a little bit faster. The scheme is getting thrown at them. We're putting in things each and every day. And so, there comes a learning curve. But they'll get it. They are eager to learn. They're great young men. And their future is very, very bright. And I'm excited about them.
When I watch Coach Guidry's defense, I see an excitement in all the players. I mean, it gets their attention, and they're aggressive, and it seems to fit the personality of this Miami team.
Well, this defense is aggressive in nature and in its approach. When you look at the scheme and what we do, our guys like going. You can kind of see that, when we prepare and practice and we get out there, and the scheme allows that. Speed's at a premium and we can run. So, one thing as a coach is to get our guys in position to affect the football game, put them in positions to be successful, allow them to use their skill set so they can flourish and not have to do too much thinking. They can just go out there and do what they've done since they were little kids, and that's play football. And so this scheme allows those guys, especially at the mic and the wheel, in the Sam, in our room, to do that, to utilize their length, their speed, their athleticism, to go out there and to make plays, to affect the game, and to be leaders on the defense. And so, we're excited about it. We got a long way to go, but we're gonna come to work each and every day to bring back the standard of playing the linebacker position at the University of Miami. It's a high standard, and it's our job to meet that standard and to elevate it.
Last question, Coach. The best friends of that linebacking core are those guys out in front,
no doubt.
those defense.
No doubt.
So,
I was saying this the other day, literally yesterday, as Kirk said that. We was meeting, and I kept pausing it. And the defensive lineman, they was taking turns just, creating a new line of scrimmage, knocking the offensive line back. I call it putting jumper cables on them. And I said, make sure when the season starts, when we get through fall camp, you make sure you take those guys out. You make sure they are happy, because they're a linebacker's best friend. They're a defense's best friend, because they can affect the run and the pass. If those guys are getting out with the quarterback, you don't got to cover as long. If those guys are, playing in the backfield, creating a new line of scrimmage, you're getting unblocked, because if they're double teaming them, they ain't blocking you. And so, they're a linebacker's best friend, and they've done an unbelievable job. Coach Joe and Coach JT, they've done a great job with those guys, and you can see the improvement and the confidence in which those guys are performing each and every day.
all right, that's Don Bailey here with linebacker coach Derek Nicholson. Thanks, Coach.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Okay, we go in the trenches now with the jovial Branson Deen joining us, transfer here from Purdue.
Yes, sir.
How do you like Miami?
Man, I'm loving it. I think it's a perfect fit. I really enjoy it here, and I'm really happy to be here.
You are always smiling and you're enthusiastic and you're in a battle every day in the trenches, right?
Man, it's the game I love. It's the job I picked, and I have a great time doing it.
I want to ask you about your defensive line in a moment, but that offensive line you're going up against every day, what's that like? They got some big boys over there.
Man, you know what? It's a consistent battle every day. But man, we got some good dudes over there, some soon-to-be pros over there. So it's a great opportunity to see where you're at, yourself and your skill set. Man, I love going against those guys every day.
You played in the Big Ten, you transferred to Miami. Why was this a good opportunity for you?
Just the attitude of Coach Cristobal, man. He wants to lead with the bigs, and I think that's the way that we have to go. So his attitude and his mindset, I thought it fit perfectly with what I was trying to do. And, man, we on the hunt. So, Miami's perfect.
You had to look at Coach Cristobal, right, and see, well, this guy was at Alabama, he was at Oregon, and both those teams had something pretty similar, position that you play.
And he's right across the ball with the offensive line, too. So, man, it's perfect.
Let's talk about the guys you're playing with. Right next to you is Leonard Taylor. How's he doing?
Man, he's doing great, man. He's just getting back because he didn't practice with us in the spring, so he's just getting back. He's still getting in the groove of things, but, man, he's warming up, finding his rhythm, man. He looks really good out there.
There's some other guys in there that are battling. Jared Harrison, it's been here for a long time. Former basketball player, brings a kind of a little bit of a different dimension inside, right?
Yeah, he's a real athlete, man. He can dunk, he can jump, he has quick feet, he's quick. Man, I love playing with Jared, man, and it's gonna be a great year for us.
Coach Guidry says stopping the run has to be non-negotiable. You guys battle that every day in practice, right?
Exactly.
You practice stopping the run.
Hey, man, we live by the term, you got to earn the right to rush the passer, man. And earning the right is stopping the run on first and second down to where we get in third and long and we can pin our ears back and go. So we got to earn that right every series, every snap.
Yeah, some teams stopping the run is something they do on their way to the quarterback, but not here, right?
Not here.
Yeah.
Man, we stop the run first, and then we'll see what you do after that.
How about training camp so far for you, battling the heat, the all the elements? I mean, that's why you're here, right?
Yeah.
That's part of what makes Miami special.
Exactly. I mean, it's definitely a different dimension than Indiana, but you got to just keep your hydration up, be a pro about taking care of your body, and you'll be all right. You better get at least a gallon in or you're going to be suffering.
Yeah, a lot of young players on that defensive line. One guy that people are really talking about is Ruben Bain. What do you see?
Oh, my goodness. He's probably the best freshman I've ever seen. He has a lot of really advanced moves. I mean, I look at him sometimes, I'd be like, man, you shouldn't even know that much yet. But, man, he's gonna be a great one for Miami.
You did a great job with us. I think you're going to have a great season.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for being with us.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, that's Branson Deen joining us. We'll continue right after this. All right, Don Bailey, we've taken a good look at the defense this week in our reports. This linebacker position has a lot of competition.
That it does, and you want that. That's something that Coach Cristobal makes sure happens at every position on the field, is create competition, and that will raise everybody's level of performance.
And a little more size this year.
Absolutely, and that's how Miami used to be, Joe. There were some big linebackers, whether it was Darren Smith or Barrow, all those guys that played Miami linebacker spot. They were big bodies.
Okay, for Don Bailey Jr., I'm Joe Zagacki. Thanks for joining us on our Hurricanes Camp Report.